At 8:30 this morning, my business pitched a journalist, and at 8:30 tomorrow is going to scan for more journalist requests. Last week, it researched and outlined my newsletter, and it built a LinkedIn carousel to my brand guidelines without me opening a single design tool. Overnight, my system edited this very video that you're watching right now, alongside a number of other ones, ready for posting on social media. I wasn't around for any of these tasks, and I want to be clear about why that's important. Ever since I set up my business, the advice I keep getting is do more marketing. This is possibly the worst advice a busy business owner could ever get. Marketing used to get squeezed into whatever time I had, whatever gap, however big or small, which is mostly why it didn't get done. That spare hour never arrived, and what I've noticed from running my own business and working with hundreds of business owners over the last few years is that the work that grows the business loses every time to the work that runs it, and marketing is always the first thing to go. My newsletter's gone out every week for 2.5 years through client work, through school holidays, and everything in between, and over 2,500 people read it. Every weekday morning, my system drafts pitches for real journalist requests where I'm actually the expert they're looking for. So far, they've landed me in some really great publications, including Fast Company. What I'm going to show you is the machinery that makes that possible alongside a full client load. The standard advice says post daily, start a podcast, be everywhere all at once. But for a business owner, that just doesn't work. Every hour of marketing is an hour taken away from working on the business or from living the life the way you actually want to live it. Now, I know that marketing is one of the most high leverage tasks that you can do for your business, but most small business marketing doesn't die of laziness. It dies because people just don't have the time, or the budget for that matter, to make it flourish. That is all changing. My newsletter starts from a research report on what's hot across my niche that week, so I write from evidence rather than a blank page. And the carousels come out in my fonts, in my colours, because the brand rules are written down into my system's brain. The videos come out the way I asked because I trained my system in how to create them. And the video that you're watching right now, my system edited that. It pulled the transcript, found every place I fluffed a line, and took them out while I was on my post-lunch walk. If you've got this far, you're clearly my kind of person, so subscribe and the rest of this YouTube series just turns up into a notification without you having to look for it. Right, back to it. The reason it works isn't the tools. I want to give you the model because I think almost everybody gets this upside down, and I know I definitely did. Any piece of marketing you've ever made has 3 layers in it. The top layer is judgment. What to say, who to say it to, why this week and not next, your actual point of view about your own industry. The middle layer is your craft, making the thing well, the writing, whether it sounds like you or not, or it sounds like everybody else. And then you have the bottom layer, which is all the logistics of it all, things like scheduling, formatting, resizing for 4 different platforms, posting, tracking, filing, repurposing. It's exhausting, and for many, their full-time job. Now, which of these bands do you spend most of your time in? If I could hazard a guess, it would be this one, every time. It's always the bottom band, and the bottom band is the one that takes the longest and is often something that you'll need to upskill yourself in so that you can do it well. It's also something that can be easily delegated. So automation should come from down here and work upwards. Logistics first, then some of the craft with your voice written down, and the judgment element stays yours forever. And here's what almost everybody actually does. They start at the top. AI, write me a LinkedIn post, because that's the bit that feels like magic, and it's also the bit that feels the hardest. And then they sit there on a Sunday night, hand resizing images for Instagram, because that bit feels like real work, and it'd be lazy to automate it. Do you see what that does? You've outsourced the only part that was ever yours in the first place, and you've kept the part a machine should have taken off you years ago. You've automated your own point of view and handcrafted your admin. That's why the internet is full of AI content that all sounds the same. It isn't that the machines write badly, it's that people have handed over that top layer instead of the bottom. So my rule is the system does the volume and I do the judgment. It scans, researches, drafts, formats and schedules, and I choose, edit and approve. The internet is drowning in AI content. Everyone can smell it, and you've every right to ask why mine would be different. The thing about mine is that my system carries an actual blacklist. Words that I never use, sentence structures that scream AI, openers that I just ban them completely. They're all written down, and every draft gets checked before I see it. AI content sounds like AI when nobody taught it a voice. And my system has had 2 years almost of newsletters and a manuscript that's gathering dust to learn from. I'll leave the full list in the description if you want to steal it. And if any of those made you wince with recognition, please click the like button. It genuinely helps this video reach the people it's intended for. So take last month's marketing and put every hour you spent into one of those 3 layers. But be honest about the resizing and the scheduling, because it almost always turns out to be more than people think. And then ask the question that decides it all. Which layer would you be embarrassed to have a machine do for you? That layer is yours, and everything below it is negotiable. There's a free scorecard below if you want to have it sized up properly. Outbound marketing is only half the picture. Information coming in is the other half, and staying current on AI had become a part-time job for me before I automated it. I subscribe to 18 newsletters about AI, and I don't read any of them. And still, I'm better informed than when I read them all. How is that even possible? Well, that's what I'm going to cover in the next video.